Welcome to Greater Faith Outreach Ministries, reaching the world with the love of God.
Hello, 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 and welcome again to Greater Faith Outreach Ministry. Boy, I tell you, we're just excited about today's program. We're here at BD Local Studios. I have my host here, Wendy Sundstrom. She's
Hello.
the co-host. I'm the host, Elizabeth Hamilton, and I am so honored and so pleased to have my good friend and birthday twin.
Yes.
We were
Aw.
born on the same day. No, I'm just kidding. She's a lot younger than me, but we were born on the same day. And I just thank God for her. She's such a blessing. And the Bible tells us to give honor to where honor's due. And she's overdue because she's like one of the
Amen.
ones that's in the background,
Mm-hmm.
orchestrating the whole thing and nobody knows. But now God is bringing her to the forefront, and I thank God for her. My lovely friend, Lonetta Cunningham. Hi, Lonetta.
Hi.
Hi,
So
Thank
good
you
to
for
Lynetta.
have you
having
here. We
Thank you
love
for having
you.
me.
We love you. First of all, tell us about your brand new organization.
Yes, teamwork.
Teamwork. All right. So why are you so passionate about teamwork? I always ask people that. What's your passion and why have you decided to do this?
Oh gosh, one answer we could be here all like so it all
I know.
started. No. Um, well, it's a long time dream to be able to reach youth. Like that's my assignment is today's kids, and this is a an organization that my whole family's involved in. So founded by my son, who is a YouTuber and a gamer, and then just with his experience and my experience with youth and character building and bullying prevention has all come together, and all three of my kids are involved. My husband's involved, and
What
so
a
it's just a
blessing.
huge blessing, and just like this mama's prayers answered.
Yes.
So
I mean, that's the most beautiful thing in the world to have your family on board with what you're doing.
yeah,
So I commend you and your family for doing that.
thank you,
Amen.
thank
Amen.
you.
Amen. So we have a photo here of your son and the mayor. So tell us a little bit about that
Oh,
at
so
the Boys Club.
yeah, so my son, we had on National Video Games Day. There's National Video Game Day, but this was National Video Games Day, September 12th. We did our launch and ribbon cutting at Al Davies Boys and Girls Club.
Wow.
And the mayor came, and we had a proclamation. You know, the Honorable Mayor Victoria Woodards was there,
Aw.
and
With Marcel.
with Marcel, the honorable young
Well,
child of
yeah.
mine. And there was a proclamation for Teamwork Day that she read, and yeah, it was a great event.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was
Beautiful.
really fun. And then we cut the ribbon and did
Yes.
an open house. Well, we did a pre-funk party. So the boys club was open, and we were in the gym, and we had all kinds of games, and brought in different community partners so that the kids could find out what's going on in their community and different resources, Safe Streets and Tacoma Urban League and communities and schools, or just a few. But our church was there, and so it was really awesome. And then we went outside and did the ribbon cutting, and then we did an open house of Teamwork. So we opened the community, we opened up the doors and let the community come in and play some video games and hear more about what we're doing.
Wow, you're doing so much. I know you had a function over at the civics, the center over the convention center, not too long ago for the schools. So you do works with the schools. You were the administrator of one of the biggest churches here in Washington, and you did that. And I'm just again, I am so happy to see you come forth, and God is doing that. God will do that to us. Sometimes it's uncomfortable, but the Lord said, I'm going to launch you forth. But you've done so much in the background to help. And with these children, you talk about the bullying, and I want you to talk about that, the bullying part.
Yeah, kids are being bullied.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
being bullied in
yeah.
school, you know, in their communities, online. So
Cyberbullying. Oh, so
cyberbullying,
sad.
and so 1 in 4 kids is being bullied, and the greater number of kids have seen bullying. And on when it comes to cyberbullying and on the internet, what gets out there can stay out there
Yeah.
and can multiply,
Yeah.
and you can't really get a grasp of it. So our goal is we say we're bully prevention, and so our goal is to just raise up a generation that stands up to bullying,
Right.
knows their value and knows that, hey, I don't deserve that.
Right.
And then for others to be able to step up and say, hey, that's not okay.
Yeah.
I say if 1 in 4 are being bullied, 3 out of 4 can do something about it.
Exactly.
So no more standing by, saying
No more.
something.
Yes.
So.
It's time to do something about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And one of the Seahawks players, could you tell us about him and why he's sponsoring helping you guys out? We have a photo of
Yeah, DK
him.
Metcalf.
DK Metcalf.
Yes.
Amen. Yes.
Yay. You see that touchdown
Shout out to
yesterday?
DK and all you Seahawks fans.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So our big supporter and sponsor is Auburn Volkswagen. So the Welches over there, huge Seahawks fans. And got
Yeah.
a lot of friends over there, and he got us connected.
Yeah.
And DK is also a gamer, so he plays video games, and so through that connection, he found out about us, and he's been able to send great messages to the kids, and just tell them it's season. He's in his season right now, so as soon as he's done, as soon as the season wraps up, after we win the Super Bowl, then he can come and we'll have him in the
That's
classroom.
wonderful
with the
to see the Seahawks players step up and help these
Right,
children because this generation really needs help. We
Right,
really
yeah.
do.
And great
Everyone
role
step
models
on.
out
Great
there.
role models, yeah.
So it was really awesome to have him come and support.
Oh, that's
and
beautiful.
it's huge.
Yeah, give his name again.
DK Metcalf.
DK Metcalf.
Ooh,
All
number
right.
14, Seahawks.
Number 14. And he had a great move not too long ago, that move that he made.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan, but I saw that segment when he ran the ball. Yeah. So, yes, I tell you, God is using people from all over to help these youth. And back to the bullying issue, Wendy, why are you wearing orange?
Well, it's Bullying Awareness Day.
Yeah.
Is that
Bullying
what they
Prevention
call
Month.
it?
Yeah.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Prevention
yeah.
Month.
Yeah.
The whole month.
Today,
And
all
so
the way
people are wearing orange.
Yeah,
support
support
that.
that. Yes, yes.
um,
It says October is National Bullying Prevention Month. Wear on shirts every Wednesday this month to show your support, okay? Wear orange every Wednesday to show your support because there's so much bullying in school. It's gotten to the place where kids have committed suicide.
Yeah.
And that's wrong. So we have to step up, and we're going to talk about further in the program to what the parents can do to help the children. Okay.
Yeah.
And so tell us a little bit more about the boys club, and after you have cut the ribbon, and what's next.
Okay, so we do 5-week sessions.
Mm-hmm.
Our first 5-week has been at Al Davies. Al Davies has a special place in our heart. My oldest son, was raised that it was his after school activity, and so when we thought of where we would start, of course he was like, we got to go to Al Davies. And my husband, he says he was the first member when it opened. I need to see records. So that's huge for us. And then after these 5 weeks, we start again in November, and we'll be at Gagne Boys and Girls Clubs on Tuesday.
Gagne.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is on the north end. Henry Schatz, which is south end over by Mount Tahoma Gray. You know that school. And then back at Al Davies on Thursdays. So,
Sweet.
So we'll be at 3 Boys and Girls Clubs.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's, the children, they get bullied in so many various ways these days that, as parents, I know I've already talked to my granddaughter about, the fact that she needs to know that she's good, and she needs to know that she's good so that if anybody ever says anything different, she can go, I know who I am. It's really important that they know who they are, isn't it?
Amen. Yesterday, our lesson was the value of self and others.
Yes.
And we talked about like, no matter what you've been through, no matter what your family looks like, no matter what names you've been called, no matter what,
Right.
you are valuable just the way you
Yes.
are. And then we want them to recognize that the person next to them is valuable.
Yes.
And nothing can take that away. Just like you're saying, like to know who they are. and
Yes.
to know that they're valued. So one, when you know that you're valued, you're like, hey, I don't deserve this.
She doesn't receive it.
Yeah, you don't receive that. And on another, you're like, hey, they're valuable. They don't
Yes.
deserve this either. And so
Yeah.
that it empowers them to speak up for themselves and
Yes.
speak up for others. But like you said, they need to know their worth.
They need
They
to
do.
know
And
that.
that's
Yes,
what we're all
yes,
about.
Yes.
Amen.
And thank God that there's mothers like you, administrators like you, that people like you, that leaders like you, that stand up and say, this has got to stop. You know,
Right,
you know,
right.
these are our children. These are our future. This is the next generation. You know,
Right.
because we know why the enemy tries to target them
Right.
because they possess something that's valuable to the world. So
Exactly.
we have to protect that, right?
Right.
Yeah, yeah. So I have a little little thing that I found here on
Okay.
bullying prevention and tips for the parents. It says, keep the lines of communication open. Children really do
Yes.
look to parents and caregivers for advice and help on tough decisions. Start communicating about on a daily basis, like asking questions. What was what was one good thing that happened to you today? Any bad things? Who did you sit with at lunch today? What did you talk about? What is the one thing that you felt you did great today? You know, it doesn't take but a few minutes,
Right.
right?
That's
To talk
right.
to them,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. More than just how was your day?
Yeah, just how, yeah,
Because it's
just,
like, like
yeah,
any
yeah,
day.
yeah,
But when you start
okay.
asking those
Ask
specifics
questions,
or
yeah.
questions to get them talking
Yeah,
and let you know that
Right.
you want to know
yeah,
about their
yeah.
day, it opens the line of
Yes.
communications.
Could you
Definitely.
add some more things that parents could share?
I think when you, I think, some of the tips is if you notice a change in your child's behavior, that they seem to have headaches every day and don't want to go to school, or their stomach's hurting, or they're not eating their lunch, or things like that. When you start to see a notice, or they're getting on their phone and then you see a sudden change in their behavior, then you kind of have to be like, oh, what's going
What's
on
going
here?
on here?
Right.
And so we really, and sometimes parents aren't always going to be the first
Yeah, that's
to
true.
know, or that a child and will tell.
Right.
And so don't beat yourself up as a parent. So we just say go to the first, go to an adult that you trust in this situation right here. Because sometimes, it's like, oh, I don't want to tell dad because they talk, they've been telling me that this isn't it. And then the first time I tell them
Yeah.
that I'm being bullied, like I might let them down. So we tell them to get some help. A safe person at school, someone in your family, grandma, mom, dad, auntie, a big brother, someone at their church, just so that they know somebody that they know is going to be like, hey, I got your back, and we're
Right,
going to
right.
walk
Be
this
there
out.
for you.
Yeah.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
The other thing, as a parent, you should always believe your children, when they first come and tell you, because, a lot of times, parents will shake it off. Well, you were probably bad or something like that. You need to be nicer or something like that. And you really need to be careful about that, because if your child's coming home and saying, I'm being bullied, you need to pay attention today. It's not the same as, I mean, we were all bullied in one way or another as we were
Right.
growing up, but it's not the same today. It's a little bit more extreme. And so we really need to pay attention, don't we?
yes, yeah, it's not like the playground, like they rough you up.
Yeah.
Bullying is going after your core value. They're trying to take
Right.
your value away from you. It's a lot deeper. And to go back to that parent thing, sometimes kids don't talk, especially when it comes to cyberbullying, because if something's hurting you, what do you want to do? You want to take it away.
Yeah, right,
Kids
right.
do not want to be disconnected from their phone or from
Yeah,
any kind of social
yeah,
media. So I would say do not do that.
Yeah.
There's other ways to help your kid besides taking away their lifeline. Because
Right.
to them, it's like, oh, it's just a phone. Those aren't your real friends. No, they're real. They're making real relationships, and today they're growing up, and this is their peers. And so when you disconnect them because you're trying to protect them, it can cause more harm for them. And so it's us. They don't talk about it. So I would just say, if anyone parents listening, that's not the first thing is to pull that away. There are other
Right.
ways to help
First,
your kid
talk
and
to
support.
them first
Yes,
and let
yes.
them know, how dangerous certain situations can be.
Exactly.
And they're smart kids. They'll
Yes.
figure it out themselves.
Yes.
Maybe I shouldn't be on as much.
Exactly.
Just,
Teach them how to block. And to
Yes,
protect
yes.
themselves. And you
Exactly.
can have a private account. Not everyone has to have access
Yeah.
to your account.
Yeah.
Right.
Protect your password.
That's
No
good,
matter
yeah.
how, we're
Yes.
homies today,
Yeah.
but all it takes is for you to be mad at me tomorrow.
That's
You know
right.
what I'm
Exactly.
saying? And so just teaching kids those things to protect themselves is just really valuable.
And the other thing is, teach your children not to let, if somebody says, give me a picture of you, say
Ooh,
no.
that's a whole
This
nother
is something you have to be really, really wary of, because, and you need to teach your children how to be able to say no. No, I'm sorry. I'm not going to send you my picture, because, sometimes they're not children on the other end. Sometimes they're other things. So,
Yeah.
so, we just need to be, teach them to be really wise on how to use the internet, like you were saying, and and give them tools to know what will trigger them to go, this is not a good situation. So they can just back away from that situation.
Yeah, we know that a kid needs driver's license and lessons before they drive a car, but we're like, here's the keys to the internet. You know what I'm saying? And so it's okay to have lessons and to talk them out and walk them through this.
Exactly.
Right. And we know that the Lord has a special call for each person. He said we were made in his image. And so we have to protect that in them because
Exactly.
they're vessels and they're full of something that God has called them for, when they were, before they were even conceived. God had a purpose and plan for these children. And so by you protecting them from the bullies and all of that stuff, that's going to help bring them to their purpose, because we know there's the enemy of our soul. We have to
Yes.
be real. And he tries to do everything he can to destroy
That's
that
right.
plan in this generation.
Yes.
That's right.
And I see some of the little kids now, they're so talented. They're so full of joy. They can play piano. They can, just about Mozart.
I know.
Just do about anything.
beautiful.
So that's what the enemy is after.
Right.
Yep.
If he can steal their joy and tell them they're no good and all of that, damage them, that they're not
Try
gonna
to steal their
succeed
self-worth.
in their purpose. Yeah.
That's-
Try to steal their self-worth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So nowadays we really have to cover them in prayer,
Yes.
And it takes a village. It takes a village to do
It
that,
does.
right?
It does.
Our thing is if you see something, say something.
Yeah, that's good.
Right.
You see
For
something,
somebody
say
else, in your
something.
kid, somebody else's kid, no matter what, you see
Right.
something, say something
Yeah.
about it.
And as
Get
parents
help.
and grandparents, listen. Have that
Yeah.
listening ear.
Yeah.
If you see your child's getting very quiet all of a sudden when they're coming home from school, set them down, say what's the matter.
Yeah.
Just, give them, have a heart to heart with your beautiful granddaughter, grandson, or your son or daughter.
Niece, nephew,
Whatever.
So tell us some of the needs. Do you need sponsors, volunteers, or tell us what?
All of the
what's
above.
needed? Okay.
Answer is D. All of the above.
Aw.
No,
Takes a village.
Yeah, we're just starting out. We have some great volunteers, so we need help with setting up and tearing down, and kids or adults being in the room to mentor to these kids. My heart is really just teaching kids their value.
Amen.
And bringing equity into their life, finding out what they need. We're there with video games because 90% of kids are playing video games, whether it's on their phone. So we know we can bring them in, but can we provide all the things that they need? And so so partnerships, community partnerships is huge. So I want if I find out a kid has a need, whether it's a tangible need or something deeper or healthy, whatever it is, I want to be able to be like, hey, I know these people, and get them connected there.
Amen. Helping them to succeed. That's
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah.
Challenging them
That's
to level up to
awesome.
their full potential,
Yes.
and it takes a village.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's why we're called Teamwrk. It's
Yeah,
going to take
yeah.
teamwork because kids need. Not one person isn't
Yeah,
going to be everything for a child, and so we
Need
wanna
connections.
we
And
just
you're
need
the
connections.
perfect one for this. You're the CEO of this, and you're perfect for this. I remember I would call you up, and I said, Lonetta, I need what you need, sis. Whatever you need. I mean, this is the type of person she is,
Aw.
So we just want to help her for what she's doing, her organization now. Whatever you need, sis.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah, we need. It's $50 to sponsor a kid. We have scholarships. We charge $50 because it's
Yeah.
for a
You have to.
session. So kids, there's a value in there. But right now, 90% of our kids are scholarshiped, free or reduced lunch, and so so we have that. And we've had sponsors put some money up front to make sure those kids can go. But as time goes, and as we're going into 3 boys and girls clubs, there will be needs, and we'll need more equipment or whatever. But right now we have. Can I tell you a little bit about?
Sure,
So-
please
okay.
do.
Yeah.
So in our classrooms, we have PlayStations, Switches, Xboxes, and then we have these PCs that my son had created or had built.
Wow.
And so there's all kinds of gaming on that, and but then we also pull them from that and do activities. We have guest speakers from the community. So hey, I think I see some guest
Tim over
speakers
there
coming
too.
in, and we interrupt the actual
Yeah,
video gaming
yeah,
for them
yeah.
Yeah.
to listen to the lesson.
Sweet.
There's something in the brain when kids are gaming that they get into a zone, and it's this high capacity. And when you break that up and teach them a lesson, it's been amazing how they memorize that lesson and can repeat it to somebody else.
Amen.
So that's kind of the goal, is to get just a variety of people that look like them, or just things that they might aspire to in the classroom, and so that they can see different things that they might normally
Yeah.
not normally see.
Yeah. I see another one of my favorite people is involved, John Gaines.
Oh yes, yes,
Yay.
Johnny
Yeah,
Gaines.
yes,
So
yes.
he's
So,
been a huge
yeah.
blessing to the kids. They look up to him. He'll be there next week doing a
Wonderful.
lesson on teamwork. Whatever
Yeah.
he can talk about.
Yeah.
And so
He has his own curriculum out too.
yeah,
So,
yeah. So he's been a huge blessing, and the
Oh,
kids
wow.
really love him and look up to him. And
Amen.
Yeah, because he's been through so much, and look how God has raised him up. You know,
right, yeah.
for a voice to the whole United States, to America. I saw him in China. Where was that at? He was somewhere speaking to kids in another nation somewhere. But anyway, God has him all over the
he's
world.
all over the world. Yes, and
Praise
we'll
God.
continue.
Yes, yes.
elevated.
So give us some information if anybody would like to support or volunteer or do anything. Just give the audience
Yeah.
the information,
So
Lonetta.
go to the website, teamworkfoundation.org. It's teamwork. There's no O in work, so it's
Okay.
WRK.
WRK.
My son, basically, I do work. Like I said, is a YouTuber gamer, and he doesn't have an O in his logo, so
Oh,
that's how
okay.
that.
I
And
like
he's
that.
had the Teamwork brand and team for a while, and then so we recently adopted that for our nonprofit.
What's that
Sweet.
slogan? Teamwork
Makes
makes
the
the
dream work. Yes.
So we're so thankful that you started this organization, and it's very, very important nowadays. And we've talked about that earlier about, we see what's going on now. And I even heard that Facebook was going to cut out the likes on that because so many children think that if they don't get number of likes that they're not valuable or something.
Yeah, I saw.
You know?
Yeah, I saw that. I saw it about Instagram, where
Yeah.
it's just going to be like
Instagram.
you just get to see the views.
Yeah,
Because people
that's
are,
good.
chalking up their value in the likes.
Yeah, okay, I
and
got
so-
10 likes, so,
Yeah.
and I got one like, no one loves me,
Right.
so
Yes,
that's
good.
could be a good thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be interesting. I know they did a trial run in Canada, so we'll see if it comes here.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So what else is God doing? I know he's doing a lot through you. I mean, this is a lot. For as the schools, how is that coming along? You had done something over there, like I said, at the
So I'm on the board of communities and
where's
schools.
that? Yeah, this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love this organization. We
Yeah, I
in the
love
summer
that.
we did a backpack outreach. We'll be
Yeah.
doing something for the kids for Christmas.
Oh, nice.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, and again, they bring they go into schools and create communities for schools. So we're always looking for partners and people in the community to surround these kids with resources and people that we can connect them to. So again, it's right down what I like to do, and I'm also on the board of Elements of Education. Have you
Oh,
guys heard of that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
and
all
so-
over the place.
So again, and they
yes.
really value kids at where they're at and their gifts and their abilities and what they love, and tailor the education
Yeah.
around that, which is so awesome to recognize that kids aren't all one size fits all.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Because
so-
I remember when we went to that at the convention center, a couple of the kids were homeless
Yeah,
and
at one
going to
point.
school.
So
know?
yeah, and then so that we had our liaison, and she finds that out, and then she reaches out to the community. So they have that surround support.
So say that again. If they find out that the children are homeless, what will they do?
They reach out to the community and try to surround
Help.
them with resources.
Nice.
To help them.
Yeah.
And so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it
Everybody,
is. It is because we see so many youth that are homeless nowadays. Missing school and
Yeah.
yeah.
A
So
large amount of kids homeless that don't have a lease.
Yeah.
Don't have a their parents' name.
So do you have an example of where, you really felt that, I mean, I know you did a lot, obviously, but do you have like a example of where you touched a life there at the school with one child, maybe with a backpack that didn't have one and was just, or whatever?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I know you had many.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Just give us a story, maybe.
Yeah, just
I mean,
Yeah.
without saying anything too personal.
Yeah.
right, without names, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, each kid, we know that a backpack, school supplies can run you $150
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
or more. So, I mean, in general, the kids in need are getting the backpacks.
Amen. Well,
You
that's
know, and-
awesome in itself.
Yeah. So,
So, and just getting those smiles back is so sweet.
And
That
just
it
to
just
thank you
warms your heart to see them just smiling as you're handing them out and seeing.
to see, we teenagers, we can be, a little, but to see the pride
Right.
in a 15-year-old girl who has a backpack that, because a lot of our backpacks were all types. It wasn't just one
Nice.
kind, one color. It was every kind of backpack you could think of. And for them to pick out the one that resembles them and looks like them and that they can be proud, that they can start the year off
Sweet.
with
That's awesome.
necessities
Yeah.
that they have to have in school.
Yes.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
A
saying?
need.
But to take away that fear that they might not have what they need just to get by in school
Yeah.
is amazing. And to see that, but to see a pride on top of that of like, this is my backpack.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, that's
You know
what I was
I'm
saying.
Yeah.
And you're
Really
going to
cool.
see
Means a
even
lot.
more because, like I said when we started, you have been behind so many organizations. You have done so much. And I know you helped me so many times with guests and things like that. You were right on it. And so now God's going to bring you up to look at that harvest. And you're going to see the harvest that you planted back there in the churches and
Amen.
places. Yeah, God is bringing that. Yes, that harvest. She's very modest. But you get ready, girl.
Amen. Amen.
And he just to have your family working beside you like that, that's God.
That is God. That is God. When you get your family to all be on board.
Yes.
Right.
But, that is, that's his family.
Yeah.
Is that we all have different and unique gifts
Yeah.
and abilities.
Yes, yeah.
And you see it, you can see it in like my little family of 5 of like, oh, yeah, he's got this gaming thing. Oh, he's got this tech thing. Oh, she's got the vlogging down. And oh, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to come together. But that's the body of Christ. We all
Yes,
have our
yes.
individual gifts. And again, that's why it goes back to teamwork.
Yeah.
Bring your best you.
Yes, exactly.
You know
that's
what I'm
good.
saying? And we get things
Put it
done.
together,
We get
right.
things handled. So that's really cool to see.
So, do you have resources like when, I know that children get bullied over their clothing.
Right.
So, if there's, do they have kind of like a place where they can go and get some stylish clothes and just build up their esteem?
That's so cool.
I mean,
So we are looking for someone that we can go to regularly. We do have a volunteer. He comes and he sets up and
oh, sweet.
but
That's
he
awesome.
has. I'm gonna call him. He shops, and so
Okay.
he has opened the door. He was like any teen that wears the size. Come to, and he can go shopping, and all the stuff
Oh
still
my
has
gosh, that's
tags on
awesome.
them, brand new shoes,
Oh, praise
brand new
God.
clothes. So we're like.
That is
We haven't
sweet.
gone like really, like you said. God's been just so good, and people coming forward and saying, "Hey, I have this resource."
Yeah.
And
Yes.
So, so it's good to just to have them there and to know. But that's the goal, is if,
Right.
there's been times where we've seen a child with holes in their shoes and they're not saying anything, and so then it's
Right.
like
That's
you
when you
find
gotta
out what
step in.
size, whether
Yeah.
it's us or an organization.
Yeah.
Our goal is to step in and make sure.
Sweet. That is so
Because,
awesome.
like you said, it
Yeah.
could be, especially with the homelessness. It's
Yeah.
like if you're not taking a shower every day or
Right.
things like that, anything that we can do to keep kids, not to say that. No, they shouldn't be bullied for any reason.
Right.
But whatever we can do to wrap around them, so to avoid those things.
Exactly.
Make sure
exactly.
that they're
Yeah.
getting what they need. we want to do.
Yeah, and that's what your program is about. Teamwork is a wraparound program. And we just thank you so much. I see our time is out. But we just thank you so much,
Thanks for having me.
Lonetta, for coming. I'm
Thanks
so
for having
we
us.
just love you.
You know.
You do so much. You support
Yes.
the community in Washington so much. And it's your time. I'm telling you. God has launched you out. You're in the front now, girl.
Oh,
So yes, and you're such a blessing. Well, I see our time is out. We love you, and you know God love you. Until next time, bye bye.
You've been listening to Greater Faith Outreach Ministries with Pastor Elizabeth, reaching the world with the love of God. If you'd like prayer or a copy of today's program, log on to www.greaterfaithoutreach.com or call 253-324-7902.